1972, Xinjiang, China. Landsat 1 from an altitude of 900 kilometers. Got a picture. Strange photo. One is about 60 kilometers long. Large ears about 30 kilometers wide. People didn't know what it was. How is it formed? It can only be called the ear of the Earth by its shape. And today, two parts of Earth and its periphery. Over 100,000 square kilometers in total. In fact, they all belong to the same common name. Lopner. Yes, Lopner. A deep and profound death zone. A seemingly barren area of life. An uninhabited wilderness that was once wrapped with an atomic bomb. However, for thousands of years, Lopner has never been short of visitors. Many ancient civilizations lived and died here. Many explorers. Scientists keep coming in. Even give your life. What is the charm of Lopner? In the next video, we will try to answer this question. But there are many clues at the beginning. All point to the same name, Lulan. 176 BC. The name Lulan first appeared in history books. That's the Xiongnu leader reading Zen silently, a letter to Emperor Wen of the Han Dynasty. The letter declares, 36 countries in the western regions, including Lulan. I have already said Zen. Hun. What kind of country is Lulan? Where in the western regions? Until 50 years after receiving the letter from Chanyu, Zhang Qian of the western regions just brought back more information about Lulan. Choose next year with success. Yanzi is Lopnua. Lulan is an ancient country in the western regions. At its largest, it had a territory of nearly 200,000 square kilometers. That's the size of 2 Zhejiang provinces today. However, most of this land is desert. Only a few rivers are crossed by people. People live by the river to raise cattle and sheep. We use what's on the ground. Populus Euphratica. Reed clay builds houses. They are also wearing brightly colored Maobu. I like delicate thinking. But the caravan, occasionally brought back from faraway China. Although Lulan is not fertile, but it can still stir the most sensitive nerves of the Han Empire. Due to the east of the Silk Road, the north and south roads, the segments meet here. Lulan has become a necessary place to go to the western regions. When Lulan floats in the Xiongnu, it blocked the road west of the Han Dynasty. Decades after that, a series of actions carried out by the Han Dynasty against Lulan. The most famous of these was an assassination attempt. 77 BC. Western Han Dynasty Shurchen Fujiatsi carries a lot of money in the kitchen building. Successfully assassinated King Lulan at the banquet. Reduced the westbound resistance of the Han Dynasty in one fell swoop. So kill 100 police officers. Megatron Western regions. Ultimately, with the efforts of generations before and after, the Han Dynasty incorporated the western regions into its territory, completely opened the passage to the west. In the Tang Dynasty, Lulan and Fumsun have become legends. Turned into a variety of exhibition Lulan in poetry. From this, the poet's patriotic pride. However, at this time, Lulan has disappeared for a long time. By 644 AD, when Xuanzang returned from studying scriptures, all I see is Changuiguren. Cut off. Later, people have even forgotten the location of Lulan. Until 1900, more than 1,000 years later, Swedish explorer Sven Kedden came to Lopner for investigation. A group of people encountered a sandstorm on the road, but accidentally found a building covered in yellow sand. A large buried temple. In history, there was a time of Xuanhe. Lulan disappeared again. Finally reappeared in the world. But so did mystery and controversy. Why did the ancient city of Lulan become a ruin? Where did the Lulan people go? After, people keep coming to this desert to find answers. But accidentally opened up another civilization. 1927 to 1935. The Northwest Joint Scientific Expedition Group formed by China and Sweden investigate Lulan. The expedition is coming to an end. Scientists, led by a guide, found. A local legend says there are thousands of coffins. The huge tomb. The cemetery is located by an unnamed creek. It's called the Creek Cemetery. But it wasn't until 2004, 70 years later, his full picture is really revealed. It is built on a 7.7 meter high oval sand mountain. Giant ink columns about 3 to 5 meters high stand on the sand mountain. More than 100 wooden canopies in the middle are divided into 5 layers, stacked staggered. The wood gate is made of Populus euphratica, side panel only. 2 gears and cover. Like a bottomless canoe. Different forms of goals are also set in front of the wooden pass. Nanjingguan's current target is Jiangxing, symbolizing baby girl. In front of the female coffin are columns, symbolizing male root, embodying the mysterious and primitive worship of reproduction. When people open the coffin, the sight is even more amazing. An extremely dry climate. Quickly dehydrate buried bodies. Plus certain anti-corrosion measures. Many corpses in the grave. It's still in the state it was buried in. One of the young women. Full contour. Eyelashes are clearly visible. Seems to be just sleeping. His clothes. It presents a kind of experience. A fashion sense that never goes out of style for thousands of years. He was wearing a woolen felt hat. Wearing a short waistcoat. Pedal short waist leather boots. And I have a basket with me. Such a sight makes people who see him. I can't help but call him the Little River Princess. Is it Xiao He? Is the princess the Lulan people recorded in the history books? People find these unearthed human bodies are hook noses. Yellow crane. He looks very different from the people of the Central Plains, belonging to Europeans. And after measuring, they appeared here longer than Lulan. More than 2,000 years earlier. For 1,000 years ago, I don't know why. They migrated from afar to western China. Settle here. And 3,500 years ago, I don't know why. Their story came to an abrupt end. Disappeared in the desert. In addition, scholars have also found that, about 13,000 years ago, Lop-Ner is already populated. Villages also appeared in the Yuan and Ming dynasties, but in the end it all died. All of Rob Poe's civilizations. Why can't we escape the fate of extinction? To find a clue to this puzzle, we need to look at the bigger picture. Lop-Ner is located in the eastern part of the Tara Basin, combined by the large mountains of the Tian Shan Kunlun Mountains. The water vapor is blocked by the mountains. Annual precipitation is only 10 to 20 millimeters. Evaporation is as high as 3,000 millimeters or more. Create a large area of desert. And not only that, sudden rainbow. Plus the northeast monsoon blows the surface in midlife, so that the mounds on the surface are aligned along the wind direction. Arrows go in unison. Kill the dragons. It was called the White Dragon Pile. This is the Yardong landform in geomorphology. In addition to that, there are also tens of thousands of square kilometers of rocks. Sharp roads can slash car tires. But that was not the case with Rob Ford. This is the lowest point of the Darim Basin. Rivers from the headwaters of the surrounding mountains converge here. Form a super big. In its heyday, there were always tens of thousands of square kilometers. It is the largest lake in China today. More than twice the size of Qinghai Lake. Zhang Qian was born in Songhai, Tetafu, western regions. Sima Qian called him days in the artifact. How did such a large amount disappear? Has it affected the surrounding civilizations? For over 100 years, Shintis Komindrovis. They made all sorts of guesses. They discovered that the most famous big ear in Lop-Ner, located in the ancient lake basin area. That loop is approximately a ring-shaped distribution of earrings. It's actually a different form of rock warp. It is also Lop-Ner dry in different periods. Dry One County. Scientists speculate that, due to the lack of local rainfall, the amount of water in Lop-Ner is extremely dependent on the remaining river water. Therefore, whenever the climate becomes dry, when the amount of upstream river water decreases, the water surface of Lop-Ner will shrink and even dry up. And then there's the deforestation. Build houses. Coffins add to an already fragile environment. Civilization was either forced to leave or perish. And when the climate turns wet, the lake will refill and come back to life. So another group of humans came here to settle and live. Build civilization. Lop-Ner was last resurrected in 1921. Due to the blockage of the upstream river channel, or divert the Darim and Peacock rivers northward. Injection into Lop-Ner. 1950s and 1960s. Large-scale hydraulic construction in the Halamo Basin. It also causes many river sections to flow to Lop-Ner. Finally, in 1965, the once vast Lop-Ner has completely dried up. So far we have seen Lop Nur. The most possible truth about Lulan and Xiaohe notes. 10,000 years ago, by the Blue Lake, it became the home of early humans. 5,000 years ago, the river carried salt that was accumulating. Lop Nur turned into a brackish lake. Princess He's ancestors and family made their home here. 2,000 years ago, another migratory European. Build your own state of Lulan here. However, is this all Lop Nur's secrets? And the answer is no. Lop Nur has a vast area. The climate is complex and changeable. The terrain is undulating again. Lost. In 1980, renowned scholar Ping Jiamu entered Luohu. Missing during an expedition. 16 years later, explorer Yu Chenshan was killed during his expedition. Even today in the 21st century, entering Laguna for scientific research remains dangerous. For such a large area, we know very few people. He has too many surprises. 1876, they found wild double axes here. This is an adaptation to a desert environment, the most successful animal. Fewer than the wild giant panda. There are only about 750 peaks in the world. Lop Nur accounts for more than 3 out of 5. 1995. People have also discovered large deposits of nail rock here. Now Lop Nur. It is already a world-class nail fertilizer production base. A steady stream provides the energy to support Chinese agriculture. From the past to the present, there are still too many mysteries in Lop Nur. For example, the earliest Luo Lake tens of thousands of years ago. Where do people come from? Are there any other undiscovered civilizations? Where are the ruins of the former Silk Road Lulan Road? We don't know. But at least, we can answer that question at the beginning. What is the charm of Lop Nur? It was the wilderness itself that made him so attractive. This land seems desolate, but full of mysterious unknowns. Lulan deep fish wire mesh shredded fish. Xiaohe long shredded fish is shredded fish. Once a super lake gathered fish silk. Shredded fish. Countless lives and deaths are all there. Explorers from generation to generation. The scientific expedition team continued to enter Lop Nur. Maybe it's because no one can refuse a wilderness full of unknowns.